I have come here seeking peace. I have come here to go deeper into the truest part of me. And it's here, in this place, I can see it on each face. It's here, where we are, I can feel it in my heart. Wonderful, something here and there. I'm ready. Okay.
Indeed. Good morning and welcome. Let's let that love come flowing through our hearts here this morning and always. Welcome to Unity of Calgary here on July 5th. Holy moly, how is it July already? My name is Susan Cullen and I'm part of the spiritual leadership team here at Unity of Calgary. And wherever you are joining us from, whether it's locally here in Calgary or somewhere else around the world, we are delighted to have you here with us this morning. Know that the most important thing you need to know is that wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are always welcome here at Unity of Calgary. Let's begin by going within and bringing our hearts and our minds and our spirits into alignment with an affirmative prayer. I invite you to gently close your eyes, to take a deep breath, and begin to turn your awareness within as you affirm for yourself. By connecting with my heart, I remember who I truly am, a magnificent being of light and love who has come to experience this amazing physical realm. The longer I live, the more I realize how much there is to experience. I'm so grateful for my spiritual community, for when I forget who I am and why it is I'm here, they remind me, and I, in return, remind them. And so it is. All right, so I invite you to affirm our statement of being together, which is the reason why we gather in spiritual community, whether it's in person or here online. Affirm with me. We are here as love to celebrate the one power, the one presence in our lives, in this community, and in the universe. And I'm very delighted this morning that Stefan Belgrave, our secretary of the board and our special events coordinator, is going to be reading our daily word this morning. Thank you, Stefan.
Daily word for Sunday, July the 5th, 2020. Comfort. Christ in me is my comfort. Experiences that move me out of my comfort zone are part of my life. The first day at a new school, starting or leaving a job, a new phase in a relationship, retiring from a career, the passing of a loved one. Any change can evoke discomfort, even grief. I grieve when I think of change as loss of security, loss of my place in my community, or loss of love. The Christ, the divine presence of life, love, and wisdom within me, is my constant source of comfort through all of life's changes. I find assurance that, although its physical expressions may change, life can never end. I know oneness and love with all who have been dear to me. Recognizing my divine nature, I know that there is no loss, change, or circumstance that can limit me, and I am comforted. You will increase my honor and comfort me once again. That's from Psalm 71:21.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stefan, for that. And aren't we all being pulled out of our comfort zone in this time right now, and reorganizing, reorienting ourselves to life? Unity of Calgary is part of a worldwide movement, and we're one of the over 400 centers around the world that are bringing this message of spiritual awakening and inspiration to the world. And we have adopted the worldwide vision, which I invite you to affirm with me together. We envision a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And who knew that a virus would be the thing that would enhance that spiritual awakening if we so choose it to be so. Anyway, that just occurred to me just now as I connected to our vision. Our mission is how we carry out that vision, how we see our part in creating that vision and making it real in our life, in our society, and in our world. So I invite you to affirm it with me together. We are a welcoming, vibrant spiritual community that inspires hearts and transforms lives by expressing our divine essence. So if that is a statement that resonates for you, then I think I would say that perhaps you're in the right place with us here this morning. And how we carry out that mission is through the various things that we do, which of course at the moment is different than what we'd normally be doing, but in the spirit of keeping things, well, I don't know, this idea of moving to a new normal, I guess, is what we're looking at and how we create that. So let's see what we have coming up at Unity of Calgary. Next week, our speaker will be me. So I gotta say, I'm cooking up something pretty powerful, perhaps challenging as well for you. So I'm delighted to and honored to be the guest speaker next week. After our gathering here this morning, we of course have our coffee Zoom chat. So after we're done, you can take a couple of minutes to get some water, get yourself a cup of tea, whatever it is for you, a cup of coffee, and then join us in the Zoom chat. The links for the Zoom chat were sent out with the newsletter, and if you can't find them or didn't get them, go to the website, click on the events, go to the calendar, and that's where you'll find a link to our Zoom coffee chat. So we look forward to catching up with you, finding out how your week's been and what's up for you. All right. We also, in July, one thing that we always have had for many, many years is our annual picnic. And this year, we are going to do things slightly differently. We're going to have it in Okotoks in Katie Grinham's backyard. And so we need to make sure we know who all is coming and the numbers that we have. So you're going to RSVP to Katie Grinham at live.ca. And we'll, of course, put all this information into the newsletter, so you can look for it there as well. It's going to be one where instead of sharing food, we're not really allowed to do that just yet. So it's going to be a brown bag, bring your own lunch for you to consume after we have the gathering together. We're going to be in the backyard. We're still working out a few details around that. Katie is going to come to our Zoom chat, I think today. And so if you have any specific questions, she'll be there to answer those questions. So stay tuned for some more details. That's going to be, wow, that's going to be just in 2 weeks from today. So how awesome is that? Finally, all the different ways that you can contact us. We are, of course, on Facebook. We have our Facebook community group where you can connect and chat. And we have our website and our YouTube channel. So many ways to get information. Of course, the best way is to receive our newsletter, because our newsletter has the most up-to-date information, comes out generally once a week. Sometimes if there's a special announcement, we'll do it a little bit more often, or send out a second one, but generally once a week. And you can sign up for that on our website. So, all right, let us get inspired by listening to Anthony and the Unity Band.
Many lies, beliefs, and faiths. Many minds refuse to change. There is one source of life. We all know this deep inside. Like many rivers are returning in their own way to one source.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, Anthony and the Unity Band. I'm so excited for the day when we'll be able to gather in person and experience that beautiful music in person once again. So today we're going to do things just a slight bit different in that before our guest speaker, we're going to do a short guided meditation to bring us into the zone, to bring us into a place of clarity where we can be open to hearing the message of our speaker this morning. So we're going to begin by singing the song, I Surrender. I'll guide us through the meditation, and then we'll sing it once again as we come out. So I invite you to get yourself comfortable, to just make sure that there's no restrictions, to gently close your eyes as we go within.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
And I invite you to take a deep breath in, and as you let it go, imagine that you are clearing away all the negativity, all the thoughts. Taking another deep breath in, and as you let it go, becoming clear within yourself. Letting go of anything that is confusing or taking away your attention from this very moment. With each breath, becoming more and more clear within yourself. And imagining now that you are actually breathing through your heart chamber. The air moving in and out. Expanding your heart as it does so. Bringing you ever more presence. Being present to yourself. Present to your heart. Present to this moment. For there really is only this moment. And taking a deep breath in, I invite you to bring to mind a time in your life of tremendous joy, love, excitement. Asking your mind to bring that memory to your knowledge, to your knowing, to your awareness right here and now. And as you do so, I invite you to feel that same feeling that you had in that moment, in that memory. The joy flowing in your body, the love, the support. And I invite you just to surrender into that. Surrender into that place of love, that place of joy. With each breath, bringing that ever more real and present into your physical body here in this moment. And from this place of connection and love, I want you to imagine that you are now going into this beautiful green field surrounded by trees, laying down on Mother Earth, looking up at the sky, surrendering yourself into the support and love of Mother Earth herself. Feeling the warmth of the sun bathing you in healing light. Knowing and affirming that in this moment and always, all is well. As you surrender into the support of Mother Earth, surrender into the healing, you begin to align more closely with what it is you are to do and who it is that you are to be. And taking a breath in, just allow yourself to be in this place for a few moments. Feeling gratitude for Mother Earth, Father Sky, the beautiful sun, and mostly feeling gratitude for yourself, for all that you are, for all that you bring. Knowing that as you surrender, you fall into the arms of love. And so it is.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms
I hope that you are in a space of being open and receptive to our message today. Our speaker, of course, is familiar to us. It's Reverend Doug Craig, and he has been in the New Thought movement and for over, I don't know, we over 40 years now, almost 40 years, something in that neighborhood. And he has been inspiring us for, I don't even know how long, over 15 years, Doug. We'll have to figure that out one day. He is going to talk to us today about what zone do you live in. So let's give a warm unity welcome to Reverend Doug Craig.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, there I am. Hope you're doing great. Hey, you know, I was just thinking about that terrific reading by Stefan, Out of Your Comfort Zone, and then that beautiful, beautiful lead into that beautiful meditation that Susan did, I Surrender. Because, you know, that's really what it's all about. This month at Unity, our theme is play. And we all need a little bit of that in light of some of the circumstances and situations we've been dealing with. And today is I Play in the Zone, free and unrestrained. So what I want to talk about here is I want to talk about what zone are we playing in right now. Of course, the main theme was about being outside your comfort zone. I think we're all doing a really good job of that right now, whether we like it or not. So being that we've already been forced into the uncomfort zone with the COVID thing, we might as well continue on and step outside the zone. So the first step here is examining oneself, in my opinion, to ask, what zone am I playing in right now? And we give ourselves a check up to the neck up and say, oh, am I in the oh zone, the no zone, the whoa zone, the oh no zone, or the go zone? Whichever zone that we're in is our comfort zone. And you might say, well, I'm not comfortable with some of the things I'm having doing right now and some of these habits I've got. Well, stop. Oh, that must be, it's a lot easier for you to say than it is to do. Correct. However, if we don't start stepping outside that comfort zone, we can no longer leave behind that which we don't want to pack along with us all our life. So there are really, research has proven, three kinds of people in this world. That's people who make it happen, and that's a very, very small portion. And then there's people who watch it happen, and that's a little bit bigger, but still small. And most of the people are looking around saying, what happened? Because most people are not in tune with their environment or their inner self. So when things happen, they're going, well, what happened? How did that happen? And I think a lot of us are doing that right now. And so we don't want to live in that zone. So what we want to do is we want to be continually renewing ourselves and being willing to step outside and play in the new experiences we create for ourselves. Now, one of the things I like to do whenever I create a new experience is I like to do what I call creating a nice big concrete fence around my playground or my play area, and then step inside and be 100% spontaneous. So that way, that concrete gives me the protection and the confidence and the trust and the safety for me to step inside that circle and allow the spirit to guide me 100% unencumbered. Ultimately, it would be good if we didn't have to build that, but I don't want you to think of building it as building a wall. It is building yourself, building your confidence, building your attitude, building your faith, and building your willingness to go and step into that new experience and create for yourself play, which is totally free and unrestrained. So let's talk about what I call the two key elements here. One is clearing and cleaning the playground, and the other one is developing and building the playground. So again, when we're talking about play here, folks, let's get away from the idea of it being our recreational time and we'll save a few hours a week for that. No. I'm not talking about play and the play zone being that. I'm talking about every bit of your day as play and going into it free and unrestrained. Well, what does free and unrestrained mean? That means releasing and clearing ourselves of all potential obstructions and limitations. And one of the ways that we could do that is, I remember one of my favorite affirmations from Dr. Ernest Holmes. He declares, and you can declare it too, that there are no obstructions to the operation of truth. And as we plumb that and begin to realize that and accept that, we realize that the obstructions we may be entertaining are the obstructions and limitations of worry, doubt, criticism, condemnation, fears, judgments, and opinions, all of which we allow ourselves to entertain in all facets of our life in one degree or another. And it's that very key that we've got to work at releasing these and stepping outside our comfort zone and embracing the new idea where we no longer need to have these as part of our life. And you may say, well, it's easy to say that. Of course, everything's always easy to say. It's the doing that gets to be a little bit more difficult, because that's when the rubber hits the pavement and we've got to get going. So Jesus said, and I think he was talking about us when he said that, be therefore ye merciful, even as your Father also is merciful. So there is that which is within us, which is whole, perfect, and complete at all times and all ways. There is that which is in us that is free of judgment, opinion, condemnation, resentment, fear, animosity, and worry. There is that which in us is the spiritual truth of who and what we are. And the only forgiveness that is needed is for us to forgive ourselves and allow ourselves to slip into that natural flow of life. Jesus said another way, he said, judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. And that means releasing any condemnation or attitude or resentment towards anybody or anything and yourself. Once we could come to a level playing field with this, then we can move on. He goes on to say, give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Men, or for those, for with the same measure that ye have meet, it shall be measured again to you. Okay. So, again, that's that constant need for awareness of where our thinking is residing, and that willingness within us to step out of that zone that we're in, because that's the no zone. That's the woe zone. That's the oh-no zone. And that's not even realizing that we're in the zone. So we want to be able to release those and step out and not have any judgment or condemnation on what is beyond us. You know, one of the things, and I don't think I've ever told this before, that I grew up with and was instilled in me was a homophobic attitude, which I had for many years until I started meeting and really admiring some great teachers of mine that were gay. And I really had to look at the false ideas that I had been presented with and had accepted about something like that, which distinguished me from somebody else. And then we get that with race, with color, with a whole lot of things. And we've got to step outside of that and embrace the individual as another human being on the same path with us. Easy to do, or I should say, a little harder to do, but with practice, it can happen. And it's just another burden that we're left not having to carry. So let's talk about how you go about developing and building the playground. Well, enter into the playground free and unrestrained with any of those encumbrances gone. And then I'm going to say, be in the present moment and live with an attitude of gratitude. If you can do both of those things, yeah, we've got a plan. We've got to look at things and we've got to go forward. However, we can only do that in the present moment. And that's one of the greatest challenges I have, is spending time in the present moment. And I'm working on that. Personally, I can do very well in my character roles, but that's a challenge for all of us. And I go back to what Eric Butterworth said in Spiritual Economics. If you carefully search within yourself, you may come to the awareness that your most important asset is the conscious control of your own life. Nothing else can satisfy or fulfill unless you accept the freedom that comes from the control of your inner world of mind and emotions. And you see, that is one of the greatest things that we can work with, is to know that we've got control over this inner world. And that'll allow us to take ourselves into the outer world, to risk more, with more confidence, with more trust, with more faith, and practice that attitude of gratitude, to be grateful for everything that you do have. Plato once said, a grateful mind is a great mind that eventually attracts to itself great things. And then to step into this journey called life, well, I have that affirmation whenever I'm stepping into situations that I'm not comfortable with. Anybody ever have that? And I always center myself quickly by saying, I dwell in the bright Christ light. Only goodness is attracted to me. And then my next job is acting as though it were so and believing as though it were so. And when I go out into the mountains, which is quite regularly, I add on to that a thanks. Thank you, Brother Bear, Brother Wolf, and Brother Eagle, for sharing your home with me today, because that's a sign of respect. So I enter into all situations where I'm a little uncomfortable with that. The ones that I am comfortable with, I know that I stand in the light and in the truth. Another great one that is spoken by a great leader is Jesus. In Mark, he said, therefore I say unto you, whatever things you desire, so you got to have the desire, pray, that's your spiritual connection, your affirmative prayer, okay, and believe that you're going to get it, then you shall have them. So those are the three key things. You got to have that idea, you got to spiritualize it, And then you got to really believe you're going to get it, because if you don't, it just isn't going to happen. And then the last idea here with developing and building your playground comes from what I experienced in my own personal life, and from what a gentleman by the name of Jerry Hirschfield said in My Ego, My Higher Power, and I. He said, we eventually see that our most important work, while allowing our own development to continue, becomes that of helping others by sharing what we learn. And of course, that is being of service. He goes on to say, we naturally come to want to help, participate, and do our part. And by doing this helping and sharing with others, it's a strong central theme in our spiritual development. And that's for me, when I come into this teaching and this philosophy, what I had stated to myself, I said, if there is a God and there is a way that I could get my life back, I would spend the rest of my journey assisting and helping other people's and being of service wherever directed, and never knowing where that would be or how that would unfold. Right now, I'm being of service to my brother and to my best friend who have gone through some tremendous medical issues. And both Anna and I are working at that. I never expected that to happen. Of course, I never expected what to happen that has happened. And so that's the greatest thing that we really want to come to, is having that willingness to let go of all of that negativity to the greatest degree. And it's a practice. We got to practice it, because it's always seeping back in. But we can let it go as we become aware of it. And then we can step out of the comfort zone into the yahoo, yappy, and yeehaw zone. And even though it isn't stampede, we could go with that. So I know for you, as I know for myself, that divine right action takes place in our life, and there's a gradual, orderly, sequential unfoldment into form of the highest and best that we can be. So I declare it, I accept it, I give thanks for it, I know it is so, and so it is. And thank you.
There are those who see suffering, choose to live with all the pain. There are those who see shame and choose to smile and dance, sing despite the rain. It's within our hearts, where we all live and we pray.
All right. Well, Doug, thank you so much, Reverend Doug Craig, for that wonderful message of inspiration about how to get into the zone that we want to be in. And of course, that music was was original music written and by our assistant music director, Vivian Martin. And so delighted to hear that song right now. I don't know about you, but I was here singing along and dancing at the same time. I'm sure you were too. And I also just received word, speaking of music, I just received word that we are going to have our band at the picnic in 2 weeks in Okotoks. So, of course, space will be limited for the number of people that we can have in Katie's backyard. She does have a big backyard, mind you. So if you do want to be there in person, make sure that you RSVP to Katie. It's going to be first come on the list, first serve. If you RSVP and then can't make it, please let us know so that we can make sure that everyone who wants to come will have an opportunity to do so. We will be broadcasting, so if you can't be there in person or don't feel comfortable, we will be broadcasting as well. So you won't miss out. That's for sure. All right, so now is the time that we enter into conscious giving together, using our time, our talent, our amazing talent that we have in our community and our treasure. We create this beautiful spiritual community that sustains and inspires us. And even though we're not meeting in person, we know how important it is to stay connected, even through this digital format, knowing and holding that soon we will be able to see each other once again in person. Thank you so much for your love offering, donation, and being part of this heartfelt work. For we know that this community is a blessing to the world, is a blessing in our lives, and that we know that abundance is flowing our way. So if you would like to support us with your financial donation, you can send an e-transfer to donate@unityofcalgary.org. We also have a donate button where you can use a credit card on our website, and the website is unityofcalgary.org. And if you are preferring the old-fashioned way, you can also send us a check. We are receiving our mail at our new location. So the exact address for that, I'll invite you to go and look it up on the website. If you just go to the website, scroll down to the very bottom, and it's right there on the left-hand side, including the postal code, so you don't have to look it up. So if you want to donate that way, we appreciate all forms of the love offering, which keeps us going and bringing this beautiful, inspiring message each week. So before we go and listen to our offering music, I invite you to affirm our abundance affirmation with me together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So as you are appreciating yourself and what you bring to our community, let's all listen to Anthony Burbage and the Unity Band sing Give with an Open Heart.
I am grateful for my life.
All right. That is so beautiful. We are so blessed. And of course, we always have our blessings for the children in our lives, children in the world, and our very own dear inner children. I invite you to affirm with me. Whatever.
Oh, take us down.
There you go.
No. Oh.
I'll need direction. Uh-oh. Something's happened in our tech room. Okay, well, I'll just continue on until I get a message otherwise. So let's take a quiet moment now and bring to our awareness. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I don't know what happened there. I don't know when you lost me. It's all good. We'll just continue on. So let's take a quiet moment and bring to our awareness anything that we want to surrender into prayer. For we know that turning our concerns over to Spirit opens the way for abundant blessings to unfold in ways that we can't even imagine. You can also submit your prayer request online on our website at unityofcalgary.org. And your request is then sent to our prayer team and to Silent Unity for 30 days of prayer. Remember that you can also access 24/7 prayer support with the Unity prayer line, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. So if you are struggling, if you are having a hard time and need that support wherever, whenever you are, then you can phone and they are there for you. We also hold and love the other Unity communities across Canada who are bringing this message of spiritual awakening and inspiration. And this month in particular, in July, we are holding Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor and Unity of Victoria Spiritual Community. So as we hold all those prayers in love, all those communities, I invite you to affirm with me the prayer of protection. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen. All right, let's get our energy moving. Here's some more beautiful music with Anthony Burbage and the Unity Band. I invite you to join in and sing Grateful.
Have my reasons to be sad, my reasons to be sore. All the reasons that I have don't serve me anymore. 'Cause I can see how everything is a part of everything. And I can see how everything is a part
Indeed, I am so grateful for all of you for being with us here today. I invite you to go and get something to drink after we finish. We'll take about 5-minute break, and then we'll open up the Zoom chat room, and I would love to see you there. The part that I think my voice went out on, I'm not sure, was I was saying about thanking our tech team, which is kind of ironic if that's what happened. It's hard for me to tell from here if that's what happened. But Tina and Neil Thressel, and our new trainees, Stefan Belgrave, and our team leader of communications, Ariana Brackenberry. Thank you so much for making this online broadcast possible and happening. Let's finish by sending a wave of peace out into the world as we sing "Let There Be Peace on Earth," and I will see you in the chat room. Take care. Have a beautiful week.
1, 2, 3.